spending part of your morning with us. Taking place this week in Grand Rapids is the Minnesota Wildfire Academy. Every year, hundreds of student firefighters come together to train with experts on everything from tactics and logistics to operating fire trucks and helicopters to fighting active wildfires.
William Glesener is the wildfire operations supervisor with the Minnesota DNR. He joins us over Zoom this morning to talk a little bit more about it. Tell us what's happening this week at the Academy, William.
So this week at the Academy, we've got, I think, over 450 students registered. We're running about 300 students a day. So some of the courses do overlap. And so we've been, for the last 20 years, having a fire academy so that we can kind of concentrate training during one period of time. And it helps to keep the amount of time that people are spending in the classroom to a minimum rather than going out and doing the actual work on the ground.
So you guys are teaching these students how to do the actual work on the ground. I mean, the hand crews, doing the fire lines when wildfires are burning, the cutting down the trees, the creating
Correct.
the things like that. Give us a little bit more into what exactly these crews are doing there.
So these are basically the initial firefighters as well as the second tier supervisors that we would have out on the fire line. So if you think about command and control structure, there's different levels there. And we're training people to begin their leadership careers in wildland fire. All of the courses meet the National Wildland Coordinating Group standards, as well as there are some FEMA courses that are offered at the Academy too for incident command system. So we have folks from all of the wildland agencies in the state, both instructors and students participating in the Academy. So that would be the DNR, U.S. Forest Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Bureau of Indian Affairs, National Park Service, as well as a lot of the volunteer fire service members are either students or we do have a couple on the cadre that assist as well. So State Fire Marshal's Office and Homeland Security Emergency Management are all participating. And that's one of the unique things about this academy is that, you know, on a daily basis, we are working with those agencies together in mutual aid response, whether it be wildfire or assisting with search and rescue, floods, tornado cleanup, that type of thing. And if you work or if you play together, train together, and you work together that much better, it is one big organization within the state that is able to get this job done.
Talk a little bit about the differences between wildland firefighting and sort of what we would consider the firefighting that happens at a structure fire or a building fire.
Sure. Structure firefighters, if you ever see them, you know, they have the big turnout gear. They've got those heavy coats, the heavy pants, the heavy boots. They have the, you know, hard-toed boots, that type of thing. And that equipment is to protect them from the heat, along with the SCBA, the breathing apparatus, and whatnot. Right now I have a beard, so I can't wear a SCBA. I'm a wildland firefighter. What I wear when I do my job is Nomex pants, a yellow shirt, as you see in the image there, and we have our line gear, which is 20 pounds, 25 pounds when we're out working the line. It includes a fire shelter that is in case there's a need to deploy it. And what we're seeing here is the practice fire shelter deployments. Those are all practice shelters. They're essentially a tarp material, but they operate similar to a real one, which is actually going to be a little bit heavier, and it's made out of aluminum, and it's there to reflect the heat. So a lot of the times, if we're doing a fire assignment, we're going to be multiple days out on an assignment working, and the equipment we need needs to be light and mobile. And so it'll protect you from, you know, embers and that type of thing and light flames, but it's not in any way, shape, or form when we talk about the Nomex and the pants and the jeans, like what structure firefighters have to wear and do when they're running on vehicle fires or going into buildings.
I also think people don't fully understand wildland firefighting and what that job is. I mean, when wildland firefighting crews go out, they can go out for days at a time, right? They're camping in some instances on the fire line and away from their families until, you know, that fire is put out. Talk a little bit about that different aspect of it.
So our firefighters not only support Minnesota, but if we get requests for mutual aid assistance, we do send folks to the Western Mountains or even up into Canada. We have a partnership with Ontario and Manitoba to help support them through the Great Lakes Forest Fire Compact. And depending upon where you are, a lot of places where the work isn't where the people are. And if you think about a lot of the big fires that we've had in the boundary waters, that's some pretty remote ground. And the idea is that you keep the firefighters closer to the location where they can do the work, and then they're able to perform better and with more efficiency rather than having to move them in and out all the time. And sometimes you spike out. A lot of times you're in a base camp, and then you either get a vehicle ride or a helicopter ride into where you're going to be working, and then you come back out.
So it sounds like the fire danger right now in the state of Minnesota is low, but we could see that quickly change. We saw that quickly change last year where we started out so wet, but by the time the late summer rolled around, there were all kinds of fires that you guys were dealing with. You mentioned a couple of them at the boundary waters.
Yeah, so, one thing that we look at is what has the past precedence been? If I think about some recent years, 2012, 2021, and then this year, this spring, 2024, we had a pretty early start to the season. So we had 889 fires in 2012 for 23,000 acres by this time. In 2021, we had 960, so the number went up for less acres, 9,000 acres. So we had more fires that were a little bit smaller. This year, statewide, all agencies, we had 838 fires for just about 12,000 acres. So if we take those key years, we are having a pretty good respite right now with all the weather that's coming in and the change in the persistence forecasting and the moisture that's coming up from the Gulf. But at some point, that can shut off. I think right now, it's not looking like it's going to be, if you look at the national outlooks, it's looking primarily the really bad conditions are going to be in the Southwest, Florida, and then as the summer rolls on, it'll move up the Western Rockies and into the Northern Rockies and the Pacific Northwest. And we'll be there to support them as well as our Canadian partners. The North American outlook is that Canada is still going to have a busy year. So folks could expect to see smoke problems like we've had in the past. That I don't want to say it's the new normal, but I think it's going to be the recent memory that folks are going to remember.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of the academy is so that we can get enough personnel to support not only here in Minnesota, but our mutual aid partners across the country.
Yeah, and William, you mentioned personnel. I just came across an article like a week ago about the shortage of wildland firefighters across the country. Is that something that we're seeing in Minnesota too?
It's getting harder and harder to find people that want to do the work. And I think even the volunteer fire departments locally are having a bit of a problem trying to find folks that are willing to participate and assist. The folks that step up and are doing it are doing yeoman's work. They're just, kudos to all the people that are out there that are participating in a first response capacity. But yeah, it is getting harder. And one of the things, right, wrong, or indifferent, we've had a lot of attrition, right? There's people that are retiring and leaving the system. And every time folks retire, you have to backfill in and try to get new folks into the system so that they can do the job. Wildland firefighting is professional firefighting, and to get somebody to incident commander 4 level, so initial attack, being able to respond, and take care of a fire, that's somewhere between 5 and 7 years. So it's not like you can just sign up and get in there. It's a long haul, and we want to make sure people know what they're doing, know that they can do it safely, do it effectively, and also make those decisions on the ground that have to be made during a dynamic situation. Yeah. And so it's important that they get the training and they're able to do the work that we're asking them to do.
Well, William, thank you for your time today. Thank you for what you're doing to train the future of this industry and holding this academy. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate getting our message out.
We have posted links to the state's wildfire risk monitor on our site at minnesotalive.com.